Hello, gang. Today I'm going to be trying to answer the age-old question, why do people like to watch disturbing movies? I am one of those people. This is not a hate video. This is me trying to explain it to other people, because recently on twitter.com, everybody's favorite website, the discourse has come back up again. So I asked people, but I also wrote my own thoughts in a note. So after asking the people that follow me, which are primarily people who like horror movies, the explanations are usually one of two things. Either A, interest in the human body or biology, they have an interest in how people work. They want to watch them get cut open. What's the difference between that and I can't be the only one who, like, before I get surgery, I watch a surgery video just because, like, I like to know what's up. You know what I mean? So I think it's kind of a similar thing. But also, this is in the same category, but it's another point, which I agree with both of these things, but especially the second. I find practical effects and CGI very interesting. The makeup, how people do it, how people can fake making something that disgusting is very interesting to me, and it's very interesting to a lot of other people, apparently. So, the next is not bodily interest. The next is primarily just about how it makes you feel. So, for some of the answers, somebody said that it's gnarly, which is exciting, and I agree with that. Another person said that they like to test out what grosses them out, which I agree with. I also like to do that. Another person said that gore makes them nervous, so it's the best kick they can get from a horror movie. I agree with that. There's a lot of that kind of thing. Somebody says that it can be cathartic to see something so horrific, but in a controlled environment, which I agree with. I cannot be the only one who has made the comparison. Horror movies are kind of like BDSM on your brain. You can see things, and you can see things versus do things that you want to see or feel, but you don't have to put yourself in danger to see them. Does that make any sense? I don't know. Okay, so now we're gonna go through my list of reasons why I thought that people enjoyed these movies. So number one, I personally see it as a challenge. I want to know how many I can check off, how far I can go before I reach my limits, and I have reached my limits. I know what they are. Yes. Again, it's interesting. Fascination with biology, fascination with special effects. There is a type of, like, nicheness inside of, like, the gore community. And sometimes people just want to be, like, a part of something. So for some people, they see watching these movies as, like, a rite of passage, which, like, I 100% understand that. But I also think, I feel this way about horror movies in general. It's nice. Okay, so I read a study that showed that people that watch rom-coms are generally more dissatisfied with their lives. So I think this was also a study. People who are horror fans do better in highly stressed environments than your average person. And I think it's nice to know that no matter how shitty your life gets, at least you're not in a saw trap. You know what I mean? A lot of people think that horror movies make you paranoid, which I think they do sometimes. But there also is a sense of, well, my life sucks, but at least I'm not getting flayed and eaten alive. So, you know, I really can't complain. One of those things. But also, can you tell that I'm neurodivergent by the way that I talk? Sometimes I think you can. Anyways, there's a big a big snuff debate online recently, which made me think a lot of interesting thoughts, not about snuff, just about everything in life, in America specifically. And one of them was that a lot of people consider any video or any picture of anyone dying to be snuff, which isn't true. Snuff it's pornographic. It is torture that is made for other people to get pleasure off of it, and it is sold. It is not a cartel video. A cartel video isn't snuff. But I was thinking about what defines snuff, and then I was thinking about school, and I was thinking about, so did anyone else have to look at dead bodies in school? Like history specifically? They would put like photos from the Holocaust of dead people, and photos from 9/11 of dead people, and photos from lynching in the Jim Crow era, and photos from wars, and photos from we did a big unit with Lord of the Flies, and one of the topics that we talked about was the war crimes committed by the US in Iraq in the early 2000s. And I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's ABU and then GH. It's like Abu Ghraib, something along those lines. If you look up war crimes committed by the US, it'll come up. It's incredibly famous. And we looked at the pictures from it, and I was watching Plagued Moth's new video, most recent at the time that I'm filming this, and inside one of these gore mixtapes there was a video of the one monk burning himself out of protest, and I remembered 10th grade social studies, we watched that video. So I think if that, like, I don't know what can define disturbing content for the sake of education versus disturbing content for the sake of morbid fascination. If anyone has any more input that they'd like to share, please comment. If it won't let you comment, just DM me on Twitter. Sometimes it does that. But yeah, because I've been trying to like figure out in my head what you would consider videos of people dying for educational purposes versus videos of people dying just because they died. But the thing is that when you think back to the Holocaust, these are people who are murdered and they were tortured. So is it the intent? But that would mean that, like, one of the things that came up was like Luca Magnotta, don't fuck with cats. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe I don't make any sense. I don't know. I was just having a hard time defining, because somebody said that snuff is any video of someone dying, which was like, okay, well, I guess we watched snuff in school. But how would you define? What's the divide of disturbing content that is socially acceptable versus, like, documentaries versus disturbing content that isn't socially acceptable? And I guess the biggest one would be education purposes. But what makes a video of someone dying educational? I don't know. To learn from it? But can't we learn from any video of someone dying? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna end it here. Give you some food for thought. Yeah. I hope you have a nice day, and goodbye.